Very good. Times itself 3 times. So this would mean x times x times x, right? Is what it means inside that parenthesis. Okay. But then it's being raised to another exponent. So what would that mean?
X times x.
Right, all the times that it's in there, right? So instead of expanding like x times x times x, we already know that that's what x to the third means. But I'm supposed to have x to the third how many times?
5 times.
5 times, very good. Correct. Now from here, this is based on the rule that we did yesterday, right? Whenever we're multiplying, what do we do with our exponents? Very good. So whenever I go to add all of these up, I've got a 3, a 3, a 3, a 3, and another 3. Altogether would be 15. Very good. Okay, so before we decide on a rule, let's do one more of those. Okay, so it says we have 2x to the 4th, right? We already know from yesterday what that part means. But it's saying to have 2x to the 4th raised to the 3rd power. So how many 2x to the 4th should I have? What does it say?
4 2x to the 4th. Oh, 3.
3. There you go. So 2x to the 4th times 2x to the 4th times 2x to the 4th. And then we treat it the same way as we did with our rules from yesterday.
12.
So I take care of my numbers first, right? The larger numbers in front.
6.
So what are the 2's? What do I need to do with those? The big numbers.
Multiply them.
There we go. Multiply them. We add the exponents, we multiply the big numbers. So 2 times 2 is
6.
4. And what did you say 4 times 2 would be? There we go. And now for the x's, what am I going to do with its exponents when we multiply?
Add them.
Now we add. So 4 plus 4 would be
8.
8. 8 plus 4 would be
12.
There we go.
8 to the 12.
Okay. Yes, 8x to the 12. All right, so we used our multiplication rule from yesterday, but let's see if we notice any kind of a pattern here. My 2 exponents that I had here were 3 and 5, right? And I ended up with 15. What would you do with 3 and 5 to turn it into 15?
Multiply.
Multiply them, okay?
4 times 3 is 12.
Right, if I come over here and I look at my 2 exponents, they were 4 and 3, and it turned into a 12, so we must need to, again, multiply them. So that's our new rule for today.
So number 3 is x to the 8.
Yes. So if it says you have a power to a power, like it is here, right? So you got 2 exponents there beside each other, then it says you are going to multiply them. So he already looked ahead to example number 3, and according to our new rule, he said we would do what with the 2 and 4? What'd you do with them?
Multiply.
Multiply them. So what is 2 times 4?
8.
8. So I would have x to the 8. All right.
The next one will be 2.
So remember, this literally would mean 2a to the 2/3 times 2a to the 2/3, right? Because there's 2 of them.
2a to the 4/3.
Close, close. So right here, what do I do with the big numbers again?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's why we're going to FOIL this
So
one out.
4a to the 2/3.
There we go, 4. He said with our big numbers, we multiply, just like it says to do, right? Then for my exponents, I now add. He said this becomes a to the 4/3. So let's check our rule here. This said to square, right? If I square 2, what is 2 squared?
4.
4, which is what we got, right? And 2 times 2/3. I can check that in my calculator. What is 2 times 2/3?
4/3.
4/3, right. Okay. So we are just using that multiplication rule. All right, so let's look at number 5. All right, for this first one, what are my 2 exponents?
4 or 2 and 3.
In that first little set there, what are the two exponents that I just underlined up here on the board?
4 and 2.
4 and 2. And what am I supposed to do with my exponents? Multiply them. So what is 4 times 2?
So a to the 8
Good. For the next set,
times
what are my two exponents?
a to the 6.
2 and 3, right? And what does 2 times 3 give me? Good, Jose. So I have a to the 6. Okay,
Do we multiply those?
now we need to multiply those two. And when we multiply, we learned yesterday, we do what with our exponents? Add them. Very good, Kendall. So whenever I add them, I'll end up with a to the
14.
14. All right, let's do another one. Okay, on number 6, that 4t squared, does it have another exponent with it
No.
besides the square? No. Okay, so we don't have to do anything to that piece, okay? But this piece says negative t to the third power. So that 4t squared we're going to leave alone, we said. But negative 2t to the third power, I'm going to have how many of them?
9.
3, yes, but yes, we will end up having 9. So remember, this literally means negative 2t cubed times negative 2t cubed times negative 2t cubed, right?
Do we have to write that out?
You don't have to if you want to go ahead and use the shortcut rule. Okay, but what do we do with the big numbers?
Multiply.
Multiply them. So I've got 4 times negative 2. What's that? It's 4 times negative 2.
Negative 8.
Good. Good job, Kinsey. And what's negative 8 times negative 2?
16.
Positive 16. And what's 16 times negative 2?
Negative 21. Or 32.
Negative
Negative
32.
32.
There we go. All right, so it became negative 32. All right, and then what am I going to do with all those exponents? Add them up. Very good. So I've got 2 and 3, which would be 5. Good. Plus 3 more. 8. Plus 3 more.
9. Or 11.
11. There we go. So t to the 11. Okay, so here we had FOILed it all out, right? But if we wanted to, we could have used our shortcut rule, which is what Micah went ahead and did, right? So right here, I had negative 2 raised to the third power, okay? If I would have gone ahead and done negative 2 raised to the third power, it would have given me, what did you get, Micah? Negative what? 2 times 2 times 2.
Negative 9.
8, yes, okay, yes, 8, okay. And then he multiplied as 8 times 4 to give him the 32. And then my exponents were 3 and 3, right? What's 3 times 3? 9. And there were 2 more, which gave us the 11, okay? So that's why we have the shortcut. So if you don't want to, you don't have to write it all out every time. Okay, let's do it again. Here, I have 6mn, and it's being squared, right? So that means there's how many 6mn's? 2. So I'll have 6mn times 6mn. All right? And then for my m cubed raised to the second power. Okay, so that means I have how many m cubes? Yes, good. Times m cubed.
Would be 36.
Nice. So we said we need to take our big numbers and do what? Multiply. So 6 times 6 gives us
36.
36. All right. And then what are we going to do with our exponents?
Add them.
Add them. Okay, so we need to remember these ones that don't have exponents written for them. Yes, very good. Have a secret 1 there.
So
All right, so let's start with the m's. I've got how many right here?
1,
1, and then another one would be
2,
2, and then I've got
5,
3 more, which would be 5, and then 3 more,
8.
8. So m to the
8.
8. Good. All right, now I'm going to do the letter n. How many do I have right here? 1, and then we've got
2 to 6.
2. Okay. All right, for this next one, we've got stuff going on in the top and in the bottom. So remember, just like we said yesterday, we're going to take care of the top first, and then we'll worry about the bottom. So I'm going to ignore the bottom for right now. In the top, we've got 3a squared b to the third, all raised to the third power. So that means I've got how many of those 3a squared b's? 3 of them. So I got 3a squared b times 3a squared b times 3a squared b.
It would be 9 and
Okay, so I'm going to simplify what we've got going on at the top now. What do I do with the big numbers?
multiply them.
Multiply them. So what's 3 times 3?
9.
9 times another 3 would be,
27.
right, 9 times 3 is 27. All right, so I got 27 here in the top. And what am I going to do with all those exponents? Add them up. So I got 2 and 2 and 2 for a. How many is that all together? 6. So I'd have a to the
6.
6. And how many b's do we have? 3. So I'd have b to the third. And this is over 3ab to the 1/2, right? Okay, now we can worry about dividing. So what do I do with my big numbers? 27 and 3. Divide, and we get, what is 27 divided by 3? 9, okay? And is the big number in the top or the bottom? Top, so the 9 goes in the top, right? Okay, now for my exponents. What do I do with exponents when I divide? Now we subtract. Okay, so this a has a 6. What is this exponent for this a? 1. So what is 6 minus 1? And where am I going to put it? Top. Okay? And then for b, we've got 3 and we've got 1/2. What is 3 minus 1/2?
2.5.
Which is what as an improper fraction? 5/2. Good. And is the bigger one in the top or bottom? Top. So b to the 5/2. Nice. All right, we're getting the hang of it. Okay. All right, we got one more. Okay. Flip it over onto the back. Mine's at the bottom of this page. I'm pretty sure yours is on the back of your page. All right, so that last question there on the back says to find the volume of a cube that has side length 3x cubed. All right, so how do you find the volume of something? Do you remember how we do that? What we're going to length times width times height. Good. So volume equals length times width times height. And we said we had what kind of a shape? A cube. What do I know about the length, the width, the height, or any side in a cube? They're all the same. So really what this means is one side times itself 3 times, or that side cubed, right? And what they say the length of that side was? So what we really have here is 3x cubed raised to the third power, right? So that means I have how many 3x cubes?
3.
3 of them. So I got 3x cubed times 3x cubed
27.
times 3x cubed. So yes, I do multiply the 3's first. We already have done that one time. So 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. And we add up our x's. Yeah, 3 plus 3 would be 6, plus 3 more would be
9.
9. That's where that 9 comes from. Okay? So, you can either write it all out like we did here and use yesterday's rule, or you can use the rule that we learned today. So right here, if I was to just go ahead and raise this stuff to the third power, in your calculator, if you look on the, I guess that's the 1, 2, 3, kind of the fourth row under the button that says clear. Does everybody see that little caret or that little arrow under the button clear? Okay, I want you to type the number 3 and then that little arrow up button.
You put X in there too, right?
You can put whatever you want in there. Okay, but right now we're just doing the 3. I'm using my cheat rule. Okay. So if I arrow up, it should make the box tiny up there. Everybody see that? Okay. And I put in a 3. Right? Because that was my exponent. So 3 to the 3rd, and what does it give you? 27. So that could have jumped me straight to here. I didn't have to write it all out. Okay. And then our rule today, we said we would do what if you have 2 powers beside each other? Multiply them. And what is 3 times 3? So we could have jumped straight to this answer if you used the shortcut. But you also can FOIL it all out like we learned how to do yesterday. Okay?